Hello everybody, this is Eugene. So just wanted to get on here and talk about a subject today, and thought it might be something interesting. So I'm a long time divorcee of about 8 years now, I guess, and I'd had experiences with, of course, American girls, an ex-wife from Ukraine, and so I wanted to talk about how I decided I wanted to find me a Filipina. So I was on the dating apps here around the Dallas area in Texas, and probably had a lot of the experiences like the rest of you have, and well, it wasn't that good. So dating on online can be a dangerous place, especially for someone who maybe was expecting more serious people to be on there. So a lot of players, but not many serious people on the dating apps here in the United States. But I was fortunate enough to be, believe it or not, on Tinder. That's how silly I was. I thought Tinder was like where you found some serious people. But anyways, after I don't know, a few dates, I found a young lady that was a Filipina, and I asked her out. We met, and it was a pretty amazing experience. Very sweet, kind, and loving person, and we dated for about 4 years. And some of the great things that I noticed about her is that she actually cared about me, and not just about my wallet. So that was pretty amazing, because even when I was married to the Ukrainian, she was always concerned about the wallet, because materialism was a big thing for her. And it seemed like that when I was dating the American girls, material things were the thing they were worried about. They weren't worried about love. They were worried about, hey, how much money you got? What are you going to spend on me? Is it a waste of my time to go out with you? So sort of like they're almost charging a fee to be out with you, which was a little disturbing, but I guess that's the way the world is these days. But never felt like that with the Filipina that I was dating. In fact, just going and watching a movie at the house was okay with her. I wanted to take her to steak restaurants, and she said Chick-fil-A was okay. Hey, who knew? Of course, I took her to the steak restaurants anyways because I like steak. But I didn't have to make her happy. At the time when we started dating, I was driving a X5 BMW. And she wanted me to get rid of that and get a cheaper car. Remember, she's not married to me. We're just dating. So we dated along, and we do simple things. Go play mini golf or top golf or bowling or something. Nothing extravagant. You got to remember, she's still okay with pizza or Chick-fil-A or hamburgers, whatever. Don't have to take her to expensive places. So it was nice when I took her to one, because it was because I wanted to do it, not because I had to do it to gain affection or her appreciation for me. And as our relationship continued, we talked a little bit about relationship, but she'd always sort of told me along the way that, this probably wasn't going to be a forever deal, because she's not interested in getting married. She wanted to maybe possibly work on a cruise ship someday. Now, I told her that, a cruise ship, that recruitment video may make you think that you're going to be seeing the world, but it's sort of like the recruitment video for the armed services. They don't show you the ugly stuff. They show you when the staff members have gotten a leave off the ship and been able to grab a nice meal somewhere, but they don't show you that most of the time you're working on a ship, you're just running into town to get the vegetables for the next meal, and you might stop and get an ice cream or something, but you're not really there to see the world. You're there to work. So, but she was fairly young. I'm 66 now. She's 28 now, I guess. But so we continued dating for the 4 years, and she just always, even for the whole 4 years, was just an amazing young woman. And the age difference never bothered her, no matter where we went. We went in restaurants. If someone was looking, it was no big deal. And so we both sort of enjoyed our time, which I thought was great. And it didn't discourage her from enjoying her time with me. So when I dated American girls that were younger, if we were in a restaurant and somebody was staring at her or something, they were very self-conscious, and it bothered them. So it was refreshing to know that it didn't bother her. So we continued our dating, and she was just like what you'd think a girlfriend should be. She enjoyed just being with you, regardless what you were doing, even if you were just driving somewhere out of town. So you're driving to Lubbock, Texas, and you say, hey, you want to ride along? No problem. She's jumping in the truck, and you guys are headed to Lubbock, Texas, and she's just watching the scenery go by and enjoying the day. So she's not asking are we doing shopping while we're there? Are we meeting a big party? We're going to be partying hard, or any of that kind of stuff, which again was refreshing for me, because I'd experienced a lot of other negative things when I dated young ladies. So it was very good. Now, when you're watching this video, if you have any comments or questions or anything, please add them to the comments below, and I'll try to respond to them, or possibly maybe you give me an idea for another video. So, and please like, subscribe, excuse me, and turn on the notification bells, or whichever app this is on. So we're going to put this on a couple of different social media feeds, and so whatever standard is on that feed, then we'd want you to follow, share with your friends, and subscribe. So especially if it's someone that's doing some online dating. So there are some good people out there. It just takes a while sometimes to find them. So the longer we dated, she used to tell me stories about the Philippines, about her growing up, and different things. And it was very interesting, because I also like history. So it was interesting to hear, how life is in the Philippines. And we all have a future, we all have a past of how we grew up. And so it reminded me a lot, believe it or not, of when I grew up in the United States, because my grandfather had a well in the front yard. They'd throw a pail down there and drag the water up, and then had an outdoor outhouse out there. So I experienced that in the 60s and in the United States. So it's still a little bit like that in the Philippines, in a lot of, especially the provinces or rural areas up in the mountains and things. And so it was interesting to hear that even though she was only 28, she had experienced all those things that I had experienced. So even though we had all that age gap between us, a lot of the similar things that we had experienced as young people. So when my folks brought me home from the hospital when I was a kid, they lived in a log cabin that had a dirt floor. So, I can sort of understand the Philippines a little bit, because I've experienced that even in the United States because my family grew up in areas where they didn't have a lot of infrastructure yet. Now, of course, if you go there today, those areas are very developed and have all the luxuries of just like here in Dallas, Texas. But at that time they didn't. So, but also when I was dating my Ukrainian bride before I got married, her grandmother lived outside the big city of Kiev, out I don't know, about an hour and a half outside the city, and she had an outdoor outhouse and things. So sometimes we get a little spoiled in the United States. We don't realize a lot of the rest of the world still is struggling with infrastructure. So sometimes we need to appreciate what we have. So, but a little later in our relationship, as we got closer to the close, she began to tell me about her going back to the Philippines and encouraged me that if I really liked Filipinas, because I was pretty crazy about her, that I should take a trip to the Philippines. So that was probably a year before she left, and the more we talked about it, and I decided that would be probably a good thing, because most Filipinas in the United States are married, and very few single ones, and the ones that are single maybe are a little more wild than what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for somebody that's more down to earth like the one I was dating. So in every society there are the wild bunch. So if a Filipina comes over here and doesn't stay married, she's probably pretty wild. So I'm not telling you all of them are perfect. They have their flaws just like everybody else. But my experience was a very positive one, and I would encourage any person that's looking for a spouse, or a mate, or a life partner, whatever you want to call it. I would encourage them to go to the Philippines and seek out one. So age gap relationships with foreigners over there, or expats as they call them, is very common there. And a lot of the people around Dumaguete, I guess, is like the vlogger capital of the Philippines. It seems like there's, I don't know, there's probably 10 or 15, maybe more vloggers that I watch that are actually based out of the Dumaguete, Darwin, Valencia area up through there. And so, if you go over there, they're very familiar with foreigners, but Cebu, Davao, or Manila areas, I mean, there's lots of places to stay. Now, when I went to the Philippines in October of 23, I had the Tinder app on, and when I landed in Manila, within, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, maybe a couple hours, I probably, the time went by so fast trying to get out of the airport and everything, but let's say in a couple of hours, I probably had 150 people wanting to chat with me. Now in the United States, I'm 66. If you're on Tinder in the United States, you're probably gonna have a lot of, what would you say? Paid friends, maybe. A lot of paid friends wanting to talk to you, but no serious people. So, and I don't want paid friends. So I'm not looking for paid friends. I'm looking for somebody that's a true friend. And so, but when I got there to Manila and got out of the airport, just a bunch of young people wanting to talk to me. And so I began the process of going through those people that had responded to me. And out of those, over a period of the 2 months I was there, I dated a substantial amount of young people. Now, sometimes I'd go on 3 or 4 dates a day, but we're talking about, like a little 15-minute coffee date or something, and you realize your personalities don't click, or she's got 6 kids and you're 66 and you don't want 6 kids. So sometimes they won't tell you over the phone or whatever before they get to see you that they've got a lot of kids. And can you blame them? Because they're really looking for somebody, and a lot of guys are not going to want to probably deal with that. So, but a lot of sweet girls. In fact, I don't think I found a rude one in the bunch. They were always very nice. Excuse me. In the United States, if you're dating, a lot of the young ladies here will tell people, oh, guys are terrible, they ghost me. They take me out one time, they ghost me, they don't communicate no more. Well, I used to think that was a pretty terrible thing until I experienced it myself. So if I didn't care for the person, didn't want to see them again, I would just send them a little text or something saying, hey, it was great, I enjoyed the meal, but I don't think we're, we have the chemistry or something. And then immediately you're attacked for, you used her, you're a terrible guy, you should have gave her a warning. So no wonder people are ghosting people, because they don't want to go through the torture for telling somebody they're not interested. So yeah, so it's a two-edged sword there. You can be a good guy and tell them you're not interested, or you could just be a ghost and they're thinking something but they're not telling you. So I'm gonna leave that to you guys. If you want to be a ghost, or you want to be a stand-up guy, and let them know. So, and I never got upset if some young lady would say, you're just not my cup of tea. That's fine, because you want to be with somebody that wants to be with you. Why would you want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you? So I would say that the best policy, if you can put up with the backlash, is to let people know, so that way they're not sitting there. Now, don't use that as an opportunity to tear them down or anything, because there's somebody for everybody. So if you don't like somebody's nose, or you don't like their voice, or their hair, or their tattoos, or whatever, the next guy may think that they are amazing. So I think just be kind and let people know that it wasn't meant to be. So, and I think that's enough. You don't have to elaborate on every detail. So maybe I don't want to hear every detail why they're not wanting to talk to me, right? So, but when I went to the Philippines, I didn't get a lot of that. Everybody was very pleasant, and if we were not interested in each other, no one was upset. They understood that that they're not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I thought that was very pleasant. I think that the girls over there are very even-tempered most of the time. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure somebody will comment down below about a bad experience they've had. So I'm ready, guys. Load me up. I'm willing to hear you out on whatever you've got there. So once I got over there and started dating for a while, I was having a good time. Now, of course, I'm a spoiled American, and I stayed in BGC, which is a very beautiful, amazing development over there. It's part of Metro Manila. Taguig, I think, is the area there. And then I also stayed in McKinley Hill, near the Venice Grand Canal Mall, that was great. If you look at some of my other videos, you'll see that mall. And I had some great times there, and met some amazing people there. And the staff at the mall was a lot of fun. Now, while I was there, I found a couple of people that were pretty amazing. and I still talk to them till today. So, and I'm going back to the Philippines. I'd like to go earlier, but it looks like it's going to be last week of July at this point, and stay for 2 or 3, maybe 5 or 6 months, just depend on how it goes while I'm over there. And I have a business in the United States, so if I have to get back for some kind of business reason or something, but it would be nice to stay over there multiple months, because if you find that special person, you want to spend some time with them to get to know them. You don't want to just meet somebody for a couple of days and be ready to get married or something. So you need to stay with them a while and feel them out. Have time to get a little upset about some situation or something, you know, to see how people handle those kind of things. But I did enjoy the dating over there, and I got to see a lot of the Philippines, the different things. I didn't get to see any waterfalls yet, and I'd love to do that when I get back there in July, is get out to see some waterfalls and some other natural things. And I didn't really get to see a beach because we went to the beach near the U.S. Embassy there, but it wasn't that good a beach. So, but they didn't say that it would be that good. It's just on the water there. But there's some amazing beaches in, I guess, Bohol or El Nido and Boracay and Small Island, some other places, I think. So I look forward to doing some of that when I get back over there this next time. But if you have some questions about some of my dates, that maybe items that I'm not adding on this video, then please reach out to me on the comments down there, and I'll try to talk to you, and maybe we can even reach out and chat more in person off the platform here and go from there. So if you would subscribe, like, and share for me, that'll help build my channel. I'm trying to get it up to get it to monetize. So if you could help me get my channel monetized, that would be amazing. So, because if I'm over there, I'd love to be out around the Philippines, doing some vlogging, showing some different areas, and just have some fun with it. And then also, before I leave to go to the Philippines, I'm going to do a little vlogging around the Dallas-Fort Worth area here where I live. Maybe some day-to-day stuff, maybe some boring stuff, maybe some fun stuff. So if you follow my channel, maybe it'll be entertaining for you. I'm hoping it'll be entertaining. I'm trying to. So, and usually, if you know me in person, my friends will tell you, I love to chat and, of course, tell some bad jokes or something. So it's always fun. Okay, so, but what I've noticed, that the experience I had in the United States with that Filipina was very positive for all 4 years. Some amazing times, some travel, some different things. And when I went to the Philippines, I experienced the same thing. Anytime I spent any length of time with any of those young women, it was always positive. Always a lot of fun, never real controlling or anything. They like to let you set the tone and sort of make some decisions of where you want to go. And some of that may be because they're not trying to spend your money for you, because they are just out on a date with you or something. So maybe, they're shy and they don't want to. Now, after 4 years, the other young lady in the United States never got to where she told me what we were going to do. She asked me what our plans were. So that's after 4 years. I would think that if she was going to be a controller, that would have kicked in after a little while. But after 4 years, still no problem. Let's just have a good time. And whether you're eating hamburgers or sandwiches, she's happy. Whether you're out running around town or you're just lounging on the couch watching TV or taking a nap, she's okay. no big deal. So the value she saw in it was that you were spending time together. And so it was quality time because you enjoyed being with each other. So that was pretty good stuff. So I found that to be true even in the Philippines with the other Filipinas that I went out with. And so I had dated in Manila for quite a bit. Then I have someone who's worked for my company here in the United States for about 10 years, and she lived outside Davao. And so I went out there to meet her in person and her husband and spend about 10 days out there. And when I got out there, of course, I fired that Tinder app up and went out on a few dates while I was there and found another wonderful woman that was out there in that area outside of Davao. And just a sweetheart of a girl, and he just really was very attracted to her, and I still talk to her even today. So she's a great girl. And so I'll probably be back out in that area when I get back over there, and I'm sure I'll be seeing my friend when I'm there. So also, that was 10 days there. Then I went back to Manila for a while, and then went on to Cebu. While I was in Cebu, I was in the IT Park area, and that was a great area because where I was staying was only about a block and a half from the mall, and you could walk over there. Anything you could possibly think of was in the mall, and you could eat some great stuff. A lot of great Korean barbecue over at the mall. They had one place that was all you could eat for like 500 pesos. So that's like, like what, about 11 bucks or something, $11, I guess. All you can eat. I mean, I'm talking about, beef, pork, chicken. I think there was even some fish. I mean, just anything you wanted to eat off their menu there. And of course, the grill is in front of you. It's great. And so that was a great place. And it was a great place to take dates because, they enjoyed it. Maybe something they hadn't experienced in their lifetime because a lot of the girls were from the provinces. And it was very relaxed because you could just enjoy, doing the cooking and chatting and things. So it was a good experience. So I was there for 10 days. So that was very positive. While I was there, I went to a couple of morning coffees at Starbucks, and there was a group of expats that met there every day. And they were there, chatting about whatever. It was pretty amazing to see, like, one guy was like 92 years old, and he was behind, the group was at one table, and he was behind us over there doing something on his phone for a long period of time. But I think he's been in the Philippines for like 10 or 12 years. But he said he loves it over there. That was a lot of fun. And then there was a place called The Social. And if you see some of my videos on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you'll see some of The Social there. Great Filipino entertainment there, singing some songs by Journey and different American artists, and just really a lot of enjoyment watching the entertainment there. So now I'm trying to go for an hour and 10 minutes today. So I need this for my content to try to get those viewing hours. So with YouTube, I need to get 4,000 viewing hours, I believe it is. So someone gave me a tip to make at least an hour-long video. So I'm trying to go a little more than an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes. So if you're in it for the long haul, stay with me. And we're going to be going, it's about 30 minutes now, so we'll be going about another 40 minutes. I'm trying to find something to talk about for 40 more minutes. So I wish I had it on the platform already and I could see some comments. So I'll upload this here soon. So yeah, so I did enjoy that in Cebu, and I'm trying to think of where I would want to stay if I went back over to the Philippines and maybe wanted to stay for a long period of time. So uh, I was pretty comfortable in Manila, but you know, all the areas I stayed in, I mean, I enjoyed it. So I could probably find somewhere to stay almost anywhere in those three big areas. Now, I guess we have to remember I was in big cities, so I didn't get way out in the province much, other than when I went up to Mount Apo or to the New Israel area where the monkeys are there, going up towards Mount Apo. So the monkey experience, that was a lot of fun. I'd like to do that again. That was a lot of fun. And that was a lot of fun. And then when we went up towards Mount Apo, there was a resort there that had a bicycles, two bicycles, I guess it was, on a zip line. That was a different kind of experience. Never rode a bicycle in the sky, but that day, or that evening, I guess, we did. And there was another young woman there that my young lady that works with me was trying to hook me up with, and we had a good laugh and a good time up there on those bikes. But it wasn't meant to be with her. I think she was a little too young for me. So, but she was great and had a good sense of humor about it. So we just said we'd play along to make the group happy. So we had a good time. So that's what I'm saying, though. The girls over there, they're just really easygoing, and they don't really get offended easily. I don't know. It's a different kind of dating. So if you're a young man or an old man that's looking for a good girl, I would suggest to go to the Philippines, or get you one right out of high school that's your high school sweetheart or something. So and believe me, I'm all for people staying married their whole life, because I think it's a lot better if you stay married for your whole life. But if you end up in situations like I've ended up, and I've divorced, then I think finding someone that's very pleasant to have in your life is a big thing. So, and I've found that the Filipinas seem to be fitting that description. So I've had some very positive results. Now, of course, scammers, I think there's scammers in everything these days. There's scammers in business, government, and on dating apps. So if you're a guy and you want to get on the dating apps, if you see the poverty in the Philippines, your heart sort of goes out to people, and the scammers, they play on that. So if you're a guy and you're on the dating app, if you get on and a girl asks you for money in the first few days, I would just move on and don't talk to her anymore, because she's probably just using you for an ATM, and none of us want to feel like we're an ATM. So the good girls are not going to ask for any money. Now, there's different ways of asking for money that doesn't look like they're asking for money. So, if somebody's, every time you're talking to them, there's a disaster at their house, they're asking for money, because they know they don't have to physically ask. If they tell you they're starving, it's human nature. You're going to want to send some money. If they tell you they need money for a load, well, you want to see them on video, right? So you're going to send some money. If they tell you that their dad's motorcycle's broke down, it's only $50 US. You're probably going to go ahead and send them the money, even though they didn't tell you they want you to send it. And in fact, when you offer to send it, they go, "Oh, you don't have to do that. I wasn't asking you." But in reality, yes, they were sort of asking you, because they didn't have to tell you about that. But they tell you intentionally to pull on your heartstrings. So now, if you're a guy and you don't mind sending money, just know that you can't buy love. So if somebody really cares about you, they're going to care about you whether you're sending them money or not. So don't try to buy anybody. Just be a good person to them. And usually I tell them that I don't send money to people I haven't met yet, and sort of shuts them down a little bit. But because you could send your whole paycheck if you don't watch it, especially if you're talking to a couple of girls. So, and just know that if they're talking to you, they're probably talking to multiple people. So if they're asking you about money for whatever the problem is, they probably got 10 guys sending them money for that same problem. So keep that in mind. Stay sober about it. You're not being mean to nobody by being a serious guy, and I think you'll enjoy the online a lot better if you don't feel like you're being taken advantage of. So I would say that you wanna think about that while you're dating online. So also, excuse me. Now these are my personal opinions about some of this stuff, but if a young woman wants to send me naked photos, I'm thinking she's probably sent those photos to a lot of people. I don't know that I want to have a relationship with somebody who's sending out those kind of photos themselves to a lot of random guys. Of course, they're going to try to ask you for some money because, you know, they need to do whatever they're wanting to do. But it's left up to you guys. If that's what you want to do, it's your choice, but I'm just putting it out there on my opinion on that. Also, girls that don't respond back very quickly, because a lot of these girls are going to respond back real quick if they're really interested in you. But if they're not interested in you, maybe they're talking to 10 guys, it's going to take them a while to get back around to you. So of course they'll tell you they're in the CR for an hour, and the CR is what they call the bathroom over there. So yeah, so just think about those things. And that goes for dating in the United States. If you're dating in the United States, just remember that if somebody's not paying you much attention, they're probably paying a lot of people attention. So yeah. So we're clicking along here. We're at 37 minutes now, so we're eating up some of the time there. If you would like, share, and follow. So follow is the most important. Sharing is great, and likes are wonderful. So any of those would really help me with the algorithms on these on these apps. So got dating on the brain there, looks like. So and I'm sure I'll get better at this as I go along, and the more I do these videos and things. So I'll get better at it. Right now, I'm just doing this, no script. I'm just doing it straight from my mind to you. So, you know, a little later, maybe I'll be a little more organized and do that. But myself, I like raw video when I'm watching other vloggers and stuff. You know, if they chop it up too much, you miss some of the content maybe you wanted to see or hear. So, but I may have to end up doing a little more editing and things as I go along to make the videos move a little faster. So excuse me. But that's some of what I wanted to talk about today, and I'm looking forward to doing more outdoors and some other different settings so that we can enjoy it together, and you can see some of the things that I'll be doing in the United States and in the Philippines. Looking to change it up a little bit, get you some stuff that might be fun for you to log in. I haven't decided whether I'm going to show you me at my business or not. I don't know if that'd be a positive thing for my business or for my channel, so I may leave that for another time. So I'm at home right now, so this is not my business here. So this is my house, and we'll be vlogging from here for a little bit. And I've got a few more videos left over from the Philippines that I'll be putting up on my platforms as we go along here the next couple of weeks or so. And then I'm going to be out of the Philippine video because most of that I did as lives on my Facebook, and I haven't figured out how to pull just the video off without having to just forward the Facebook posting. So if I can get that figured out, we'll probably grab some of that content and move it over also. So if you're getting in the United States, if you find a local Filipina that is a quality girl, you'd love it. I think you would really enjoy her. There's a lot of good girls, but like I said, in the United States, most of them are married here. If they're here, they're probably still married, and so they're not available. And so to really get one that I think you could have a serious relationship with, you would probably want to go to the Philippines. Now, I didn't go over there for one of those vacations where you just, hang out with a lot of young ladies for certain reasons. So I didn't go to Angeles or any of those type areas because that's really not what I'm looking for. I wasn't looking for bar girls while I was over there. So I was looking for someone for a serious relationship. So if that's what you're looking for, then Angeles is more like going to Thailand. So if that's what you're looking for, that's where you want to go. But if you really want a real great young woman, you probably want to go somewhere in the provinces or close to the provinces. And those girls will come to town to visit with you. You don't have to really go right out into the province the first time, unless you're interested in them, and then maybe you go out to meet their family later. But at first, they'll come into town. Now, a lot of them are pretty shy, so they'll want to bring a friend with them. And well, what I found out after about the second one of those is I usually like the friend more than I like the person that I was inviting to the date. And so the third one, I told them, don't bring your friend. They said, oh no, my friend's okay, it'll be all right. I said, well, I might like your friend more than you. Well, she brought her friend, and of course, her friend was beautiful, and I liked the friend more than the girl I had invited to come. So it was a little awkward situation there, but it all worked out, and believe it or not, the young lady wasn't even upset. She just said, it is what it is, and life, has these kind of things happen. So it was definitely different, but we're still chatting. So we'll see how that story plays out. So so tell me again down below. Leave me some comments of what you think about the video so far. If you think I could have covered some subjects a little better, or if you have some questions about maybe some other things that happened that I haven't told you in this video, and I don't mind responding to those. So, if I get 1,000 responses, it might take a while to go through that. But, if I get a few, then I think I could probably go through that pretty quick. Also, if you could subscribe, share, and like this video, it really would help me a tremendous amount. Or watch some of my other videos that are on here. I think I've got 26 on here now, so this one will make 27. And of course, I'll be building up that library a little bit over the next couple of weeks. So, and I'm trying to learn a little bit. So I watched some of the other vloggers. I watched the Filipina P. The way she does hers is a little different than some of the others. And then I watched, Old Dog New Tricks, and let's see here. Every Man Has a Story, and just Tim K and Chrissy K. just a lot of the vloggers. I probably watch about 25 different vloggers, and I'm sure my style is a lot different than theirs. The regular guy, I guess, just regular guy. So yeah, Chad, what is Chad's, is it Chad Foster? But I watch, Travel Escapes, several of those, and they all have their little thing that I love about their channel, and I enjoy it. Let's see here, there's American man, Filipino woman or something. That couple, they're a lot of fun. So yeah, so I enjoy watching all those guys and getting a little bit of things from them to figure out what I might want to do. So as the channel evolves, I'm sure I'll get better at what I'm doing, and maybe I'll get me a video team eventually, and it won't just be me staring at a timer. So that would be good for all of us, right? So now the Filipina P, her format, usually her videos are from 15 minutes to 20 minutes or so. And I think that's probably pretty good, unless you're doing a live where you're answering questions for your people. Because some of the others, when they do those almost hour-long videos, I tend to wish they were broken up into a couple of videos. So, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, maybe even 25 minutes. That seems to be a sweet spot, I think. And I think, let's see, Gio, I think, does about 30 minutes or so. And that's pretty good on his. Maya, I guess, is his wife now, I think. And I think her videos are probably right along in that same area. And those are pretty good. I enjoy that. But when they start getting too long, I'd just rather they break them up into smaller videos, and then just, I can watch one and then watch the second one a little bit later, maybe when I have more time or whatever. So, but that's just my personal opinion. If you agree with me or disagree with me, put it down in the comment sections. I think this is a learning video here for me. I'm learning what maybe my audience will like, and maybe help me fine tune this thing as I go along. So, I didn't propose to anyone while I was in the Philippines. I didn't tell anybody they were going to be my wife just yet. But I'm going back over there in July, and who knows, I might break the question and break out a ring or something. I don't know. We'll see when I get there in July how I feel about it. But a lot of amazing young women there. From 18 to 75, if whatever's your flavor, it's there. So, if you want to date someone more your own age, a lot of 40, 50, 60-year-old women there, single, that would love to entertain seeing you. So, if a large age gap is more what you're looking for, 18 to 35 or somewhere along in there, there's millions of girls looking for a nice guy. So since the Philippines does not allow divorce, and they don't have, I don't think they really have child support for the locals, it doesn't seem like. Then, sometimes the girls and boys get together at a young age and they end up having a child, but the gentleman, the young man, doesn't stay. So you get a lot of single mothers there, a lot of single mothers raising babies by themselves. And so, they look to a foreigner to be a kind person, compassionate, and someone that would love their child as much as their own. And so, I don't know if I would call it a savior, but they just want somebody that's serious about life, that would take them and their child and be good to them. So, And we're not talking about moving them into a high-rise condo in Manila. They'd be happy to just stay probably in the province out there because that's where their culture is, that's where they're comfortable. So these girls are not necessarily even wanting to come to the United States. They'd be happy just to live in the Philippines. So I know in America, we tend to think everybody wants to come to America. Russians and Ukrainians, I think they do, but Filipinos, if they come here, they just want to probably make some money to send home. They're not really looking at America as their savior. They're really just looking at it as an opportunity to try to help their family. So I know a lot of guys don't like it because the little Filipinos, when they come to the United States, they want to send money back to their family. But just think about that as a human being, that if you're over here eating a steak dinner and your family's back in the Philippines and they're eating rice, but they don't even have money for meat, don't you think you'd want to help them out a little bit? You may not raise their standard of living up to what you're living in America, but you'd want to help them some. So, I sort of think you'd be sort of a selfish guy if you wouldn't want to at least help your mother-in-law and father-in-law maybe have just a little bit more, maybe some pork or chicken or something with a meal. So I've never looked at that as a negative thing. It actually lets me know that she loves her family so much that she wants to share in the blessings that she's getting from having a foreigner husband or a boyfriend. So that's my view on that. If you disagree or agree with that, let me know in the comments. Give me a little direction maybe on a future video. And if you only living on $1,000 a month yourself, you probably don't have any money to send. But these young ladies would come to the United States to be with you, and they would get a job and they wouldn't take any money from you. They would use the money from their job and send their parents maybe $100, $200 a month. A couple of $100 a month over there is like paradise, right? Because the average Filipino family is living on like $330 a month. So if they send $200, they're almost doubling the income. So they can start having extra rice, have some chicken, pork, maybe some vegetables. Really would change their health and their lifestyle a little bit. And as a son-in-law, I've been a son-in-law 3 times, believe it or not. I've been married 3 times already. So as a son-in-law, you want your in-laws to be happy, because a part of the happiness of your wife or your spouse comes from the happiness of their family. Because if their parents are happy, I think the girl's a lot happier. So my personal opinion on that. And I'm looking forward, of course, to the comments, because when I'm bouncing these ideas off in my own little brain up here, it's all good, but sometimes you need some friends or maybe some followers to give you some comments, to give you maybe another way to look at things. So so I'm always willing to learn. So give me some comments to go on. All right, so we're clicking along here, believe it or not. We're already at about almost 54 minutes, and wow, it's gone by, hasn't it? So, it's been a little easier than I thought. I really thought that I'd run out of something to say here before long. So, of course, I am talking so much that this light ring is almost moving back. So maybe I've convinced this light ring it doesn't want to hear anymore. I don't know. But so while I was over there, and of course noticing how great these young ladies were, I also noticed that every one of the Filipino people, I only had probably negative from maybe 2 different people that were Filipinos the whole time I was there. I was in an Olive Garden in BGC, And the couple that were behind me and my date uh, seemed a little disgusted that my date was in her 20s and I was in my 60s. And, you know, that's okay, because everybody has an opinion and it's not really going to agree with me all the time. So I've got pretty thick skin, so if you have an opinion that's different than mine, not a problem. It's okay with me, as long as you don't mind me having my opinion. So when we have to have only your opinion, then of course that becomes a problem. So, but yeah, they didn't say anything ugly or anything. They just sort of looked at us with a little bit of disgust. So, you know, and that happens even in America. So, and then another time, it was just somebody that I guess thought that we were, you know, taking up too much space or something, who knows. But, and that didn't end up being any big deal either. So, but other than that, it was just all blue skies while I was over there. And you know, it was wonderful to come into some of those areas and see that, you know, sometimes on the news, the propaganda we get from the news media here in the United States, they try to make us think that we're perfect here, but the rest of the world is you know, is a junkyard or something. But you know, the Philippines has some amazing areas. I mean, BGC. I mean, my condo and 2 blocks away, there's a Mercedes dealership. If they're so poor, somebody's buying Mercedes, because they're not going to put a whole dealership in for one sale a year. Ferrari dealerships, you know, all kind. I mean, fancy car dealerships. So, and then some of the other things I was amazed about over there is so many American companies that are over there. Yeah, I don't think there's a Payless Shoes in Dallas, Fort Worth anymore, but there was Payless Shoes over there in the mall. Krispy Kreme, Randy's Donuts, Texas Roadhouse, of course Olive Garden, like I mentioned a few moments ago, and just, you know, Dairy Queen. I mean, just so many American companies in the malls. One of the malls I went to was more of a high dollar mall. It had a Pottery Barn in there. Pottery Barn. Shake Shack. I see a couple of those. Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Dean and DeLuca's. I mean, these are places you got to spend a few bucks. So now that's Manila area. You know, that's Manila metro area, I guess, because BGC is not Manila, but it's the metro area of Manila. Sort of like, you know, Frisco, Texas to Dallas, Texas, I guess. And the churches. I went to church over there, and they were full up. I mean, they were standing in the aisles. People wanted to hear about God over there. That was pretty amazing. Touched my heart. So I go to a mega church here, and there's plenty of seats available if you need to go. So, but it really touched my heart over there. People are serious about coming in to hear about God. That was good stuff. But I had some really positive, you know, experiences over there, and I'm looking forward to getting out and seeing some of the natural things over there. You know, the beauty of the jungles and the rivers, the oceans and the beaches and all that stuff. Really looking forward to that, and I've been to Mexico a lot of times. But boy, I tell you what, when I went to the Philippines, that's the most palm trees and the different kinds of palm trees I've ever seen in my life. There's, I don't know how many different species of palm trees. I guess species would be the correct word. Different kinds of palm trees over there. And I was really amazed that they have wild monkeys over there. I think they're not only in Mount Apo, I think there are a couple of other places over there too. So there's a lot of different things over there, and believe it or not, they have their own eagle over there. So America, you know, our bald eagle, and then they have their eagle over there, and I think that's their country's symbol. I think that's also theirs, is their eagle I'll have to check that out to see. But that was pretty good. Now, I did start learning about the pesos over there, and you know, it's different. It looks different than the U.S. currency for sure. So if you decide to go, I bought some money from Chase Bank here, so I had some so I didn't have to do any money exchange at the airport. So I'd have some for whatever I might need. But if you decide to go over to the Philippines, be sure and download the Grab app. Apparently when Uber left the Asia area, the Southeast Asia, I think they sold out their part of the app to Grab. And so Grab has, you know, Grab taxi, Grab car, and then also they do food delivery. So if you need some food or whatever, you can have Grab bring it to you. Now, while I was there, the last couple of weeks I was there, I had the flu. And boy, I love that Grab app because I didn't feel like getting out of that condo. So I had food delivered almost daily. I did have somebody that stayed with me and helped me with my health a little bit, so they would go get some things, but we had some Grab food delivered many a time, and that was good that we got that delivered because it really helped me not have to get out of the condo that much. But some of the fun things I found out is McDonald's sells chicken and rice in the Philippines. So now, if you look at one of my, let's see, it might be a TikTok. Yeah, so you go in, you order your chicken. So I got just a chicken leg, and it comes with rice. And the person said, well, would you like fries? And I said, oh yeah, French fries would be great. And they said, okay. And so I thought they were changing the rice for fries. Well, no, you get fries are extra, but you have to get the rice. The chicken does not come without the rice. So if you get chicken and rice, that's what you get. You can't say, okay, I want fries instead of rice. No, you're stuck like Chuck. You're gonna get the rice regardless. So my last name being Rice, hey, that's okay. Let's hand out the rice. So I decided I didn't want the French fries. I just had the chicken and the rice. But you'll find out over there, there's not a lot of pizza restaurants where you can order the pizza with whatever ingredients you want on there. It's pretty much whatever's on there. So, you know, the manager special or whatever. Shakey's Pizza. I haven't seen one of those in the United States in decades. Bunches of them over there. Bunches of Shakey's Pizzas. 7-Elevens on every corner in every little town. I mean, just 7-Elevens everywhere. Let's see what else. That's just, you know, Pizza Hut, I think it's all over the world. KFC, you know, they're everywhere. But yeah, I mean, it looked like a little America over there, really. Other than when you look around and it's just all Filipinos all around you. So, but it's a lot of fun if you want to travel, even if you're not interested in a girlfriend or a wife. If you just want to travel, if you're a diver, I mean, there's one, is it called Critter Hunters? I think he's got a YouTube channel called Critter Hunters. I think he's in Darwin over by Dumagetti. But, you know, dive shops everywhere. So if you're a diver, beautiful diving there. The water is so clean and clear. You can see down to the bottom of the ocean a lot of places. And so if you're a diver, I suggest you go. Or if you just love beautiful beaches, I would go and get over to El Nido or Bohol or one of those places and enjoy a week, 2 weeks, 6 months, whatever whatever you want to stay. And things are inexpensive in the Philippines compared to a lot of places. So, of course, now like anywhere, you can you know, stay at the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, you can spend some money if you really want to. But if you want to save on money, there's a lot of places that you can save money there too. I stayed at a lot of Airbnbs while I was over there, and I only stayed at one hotel. And the Airbnbs, 90% of them were pretty good. The first one I stayed in when I first got there seemed like I was on a prison cell block, but I only stayed there a week, and I moved somewhere else. But 90% of them, great places to stay. If you want to iron your clothes, bring a steamer in your luggage. Most places don't have irons, and if they have an iron, they got to get it for you, and it'll take them a week. Hair dryer, if you need one, probably bring one with you. If you're at a hotel, they'll have one, but if you're gonna stay at an Airbnb, they might say they've got a hair dryer, but they all said they had hair dryers, and when we got there, oh, we'll get you one. Well, then by the time my stay was over, they'd be like getting the hair dryer. So you know, if you can put one in your luggage, bring a travel hair dryer or something, probably the best practice to do with that. Get something that you use. If you're a young lady, maybe you want to get something that dries your hair very well. If you're a guy like me, I just need something to hit my hair for about a minute and I'm done, but just something easy. Okay, well, we're coming up on an hour and 6 minutes, so we've almost accomplished our goal here. So if you would, please follow, share, and like. Follow, share, and like. That'll help me a tremendous amount. And I'm trying to build my little channel here and get to 4,000 watch hours. So if you're watching and you don't want to stay the whole hour, if you're going to go outside somewhere or something, leave it playing so it'll play all the way through. I'd really appreciate it. The longer it plays, the better it is for the algorithm. And but hopefully I've gained a few new subscribers while they've been watching this. Hopefully I've got some comments to respond to, and hopefully everyone has gotten some information off this video that you can use in your everyday life, and it'll help you either make a decision to go or not to go, or to look into going and experience the Philippines. Because I think if you go, you will not be disappointed. You will enjoy yourself. And it'll be one of your experiences in your life that you'll look back on for years to come. It's a great place, and I had a wonderful time. Now, is it perfect? No, but I've been to England, I've been to the Ukraine, I've been, you know, Virgin Islands, Jamaica, all over the place. And every place has the negative, every place has lots of positives. So I think the Philippines has a lot of positives. They outweigh any negatives that I ever thought about while I was there. It's worthwhile for you to go. So as your new friend, I suggest that you look into it and go visit the Philippines. And if you're in the United States and you see a Filipina, she's probably a great candidate to be at least a great date, because they're sweet girls. And I think you won't be disappointed. So I hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. And please share, follow, and like the video. I really need it. It's going to help me a lot. And I'll learn some editing skills as I go along, and these videos will get better and better. This one's sort of a rough draft, but hopefully it'll accomplish the goal that I have set for it, to get my 4,000 watch hours and to get some more subscribers. So I've got to get to 50 subscribers before I can live broadcast, and I'm only at 6 subscribers at the time I made this video. So as you see, I've got a ways to go. So I need you, sort of like Uncle Sam, I need you. So if you would, like, follow, and share. And I'm at an hour and 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're very, very close. I'm gonna let this thing run all the way up to an hour and 10 minutes. That was what the suggested time I needed to wait. and get on video. So I hope everyone's having a great day, and we will go from there. As you see, I got to bend down to get my deal here. So God bless everybody, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Thank you so much. Y'all take